Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back. That's a big theme, I guess, all over the place, but especially right now in the high school fan zone. We are back for the first time since late May, I think it was. I think we were talking baseball, softball, maybe a little bit of track. But now it's football season, finally football season. We are in week one officially. TAPS actually had a week 0 last week. We only had one team play. That was Kingdom Prep, so we'll sneak that in between segments here. We're going to jump in to the high school fans a little bit different lineup this year, and we tweaked it a little bit. We are going to be on Monday nights and Wednesday nights, no Tuesday nights. That frees a lot of folks up to go focus on some volleyball, which is an important thing in West Texas. It's become a bigger and bigger thing as we go. Monday nights are going to be Memorial, Lubbock Cooper, Friendship, and Liberty. Wednesday nights will be the 4 LISD schools, Lubbock High, Coronado, Monterey, and Estacado. So we shook up the lineup a little bit. We will be on 6 to 8 Mondays and Wednesdays, so a little bit longer. It's similar to what we do in the spring, just a little bit, about, I guess, half an hour longer. So we're going to jump into the Panther Fan Zone here in a second. This is just going to be me commenting on something, and then we're going to move on. There was some news today with high school football, and it affects Memorial. Bo Davis, the running back who led the city in rushing last year with 1,349 yards and 16 touchdowns, had transferred to Memorial last January. His eligibility was essentially denied by the UIL, I'm going to make sure I say this right, the State Executive Committee. We're going to leave it at that. I've got some more thoughts about that I'll probably throw up on HubCityPreps.com later, but that was some news, but we're going to focus on Memorial and what they do have coming up. I've said this to Jason Richards several times. Introduce Jason Richards to my far left. Introduce our other guest here.
Junior quarterback Trevor Lewis.
Trevor Lewis, and we were trying to figure out. I think I met him that very first time I came out when you guys were practicing at the middle school. And like most of your guys, he's thickened up a little bit.
Yep.
Got a little bit older, almost ready to shave. We'll leave you alone on that. I've said this to Jason several times in the conversations we've had leading up this season. Whoever made that first full varsity schedule for you did not do you guys any favors. He said, we're going to throw our guys into the deep end and see what happens, because you start with the Liberty Patriots, 7 p.m. Friday at People's Bank Stadium. I'm going to go through the radio here eventually. I got to find it on our board here. That game will obviously be on the Raymar station. All Friendship, Memorial, Liberty, and Lubbock Cooper games will be on Raymar station, so we'll go through that at some point. That's you're playing a team that was 10-2 and probably better than an area round playoff team, but ran into a little trouble in the area round, got beat. But man, Jason, who set that schedule for you?
Well, the Green Bay Packers weren't available, so I called Joe, and he agreed to a week one. Joe runs a great program, very similar situation that we were in, and they return. I counted about 36 seniors, very well coached, get after it, schematically very good. I'm an offensive guy. You know, they got 9 seniors returning on defense. They're tough. But, you know, the road ahead and the games we want to win are tough. And we felt like we had to get that going. And, you know, Cooper and Friendship have had a rivalry forever. And we're hoping that's what that's going to be with Liberty. I think it'll be an exciting Friday night.
Why not? It's kind of like this is going to sound, both of us sound old, because I think you'll know what I'm talking about. This is like flipping the record over and listening to the other side.
That's right.
Trevor's over here going, what? What are you talking about? You mentioned the returners coming back. A coach from another school had texted me and asked me who their returners were, and I said, I'm not sure exactly who they are, but I can tell you that they have a lot of them and they're really good. Mm-hmm. And that's, but you mentioned Liberty was where you guys were a few years ago. Very similar paths. Play a non-varsity schedule that first year. The difference is you guys are jumping right into 5A. They now, not that 4A's bad. Don't be wrong. But it can be a blueprint, but it's also, to me, I'm also telling my guys, okay, they've done this. Let's see if we can't show them we can do it too.
Yeah, I've talked to you before. We had a tremendous off season, 25 weeks of off season, which I don't ever want to do again. Had a great summer. Trevor's a testament to that. Ran track for us. Got in the weight room. Looks considerably different physically. Knows our offense, runs our offense, does a tremendous job in operating our offense, and I'm excited to watch him grow throughout the season.
And Trevor, getting to talk to Coach a couple of times and getting to talk to some of your teammates and watching your teammates in basketball and baseball, I would think for the quarterback, this is a little bit like a kid in a candy store. You've got a lot of guys around you to get the ball to and let them do their thing. How excited are you?
I'm very excited for this upcoming season.
A little closer, make sure they can hear you. There you go.
I'm excited for this upcoming season, and I'm happy to go out and show what we can do. And as you would say, shock the world, because we got a lot of pressure on our back as a new varsity program. And yes, sir.
So, talking to your teammates already this year, I'm trying to remember who I've spoken to. A lot of them. There's a little bit of unknown. Now they're going to have some video from scrimmages, and that's one thing that will help. But how dangerous can you be offensively right off the bat?
Speaking for myself, I do start pretty hot, and I would say that I'm pretty confident in my game, and I understand what it takes to compete at the level we're at. And yes, sir.
Now, Jason, you always tell me you're an offensive guy. You don't pay much attention to defense, but you have to pay some attention to defense to know how you're going to attack them. You know what your guys can do, but now the chess pieces, you have to start kind of figuring out, okay, we're going to see this week one, but now then you get to start game planning, which we talked about how excited you are to be coaching on Friday nights again. You've got the kind of the clay with no imprint marks in it right now with your offense. Is this first game a chance for you and your offensive coaches to kind of start seeing what's going to work how?
Yeah, no doubt. And, we've had these kids for a long time and probably had more time. We've actually started kind of scaling back what we do and focusing on what our bread and butter is and getting our skill players they're good players. I'm fully confident in Junior Roberts and Riker Hardy in the backfield. We talk about Luke Bocanegra and Cannon Meekum and Jacoby Rao and Rush Rao. 4 really good receivers that I think, there are a couple of them. Only one of them's a junior, 2 sophomores.
Going inside Memorial Sports, this is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score. This is night 1 of the new school year version of High School Fan Zone. We'll be here Mondays and Wednesdays 6 to 8. I'll run through the lineup here in a minute. I want to get through the radio stations real quick here. I found them on the board. Jason helped me a little bit. He's got those young eagle eyes. Okay, Memorial will be on Sunny 97.7. That's going to be with Clint Scott and Rob Burrow. I hope I can remember all this off the top of my head. Double T 97.3 will still be the home of the Friendship Tigers, has been for a long, long time. The announcers are a little bit different on that one. Kurt Kaiser, veteran. I told him I wouldn't call him old. Have you met Kurt Kaiser by chance?
Oh, yeah.
Kurt used to call Odessa Permian games back during the Friday Night Light era. So I told him he's got a few rings around the tree trunk, and I'm going completely blank on his color guy, but Scott, no? Okay. We'll come back to that. But Kurt Kaiser will be the play-by-play guy for the Tigers. Lubbock Cooper is back on 100.7 The Score with Tommy Wood, who's another former Permian Basin guy, and he played fullback at Midland Lee. Had a guy named Tyrone Thurman that ran in front of him, so he got to see some decent football. Then he's got a pretty decent basketball coach calling games with him, a guy named Chuck Darden. That is the Cooper team. And then finally, Liberty will be on 93.1 Young Country. That is with Branson Nash and Colt Rogers. Those guys have been doing Liberty games pretty much since day one. So that's going to be your lineup. I'll mention that again on Wednesday when we get closer to game night, which this is a pretty incredible first week for Lubbock high school football fans. Thursday night, Estacado and Lubbock High play at Lowry Field. Friday night, Coronado and Monterey play each other. Non-district game because Coronado's now in Division II. That's at Lowry Field. The Panthers and Liberty play at People's Bank Stadium, and then across town, which I hope you guys' rivalry becomes as good as that one, because right now Lubbock Cooper and Friendship is the best rivalry in high school football. They play out at First United Bank Park. All of those kickoffs at 7 p.m. We'll talk a little bit about the heat. I don't want to beat it over the head, but Jason, it's supposed to still be, we're supposed to have triple digits pretty much all week. Do you, as coaches, you don't want your guys to think about it too much, but you know it's still going to be pretty steamy Friday night. The officials will build in the hydration breaks and all that. Do you do anything differently getting your guys when it's ready, when it's been this hot, this late into preseason?
Yeah, so, our in-season plan, we practice in the morning. We bring the kids back after school Monday and Tuesday. Tuesday's a big heat acclimation day for us. But I don't know if the weather report's changed. I saw something that has like a high of 89 on Friday. Nice. So I hope that's right.
I hope Mother Nature's in that.
We might be wearing a coat on the sideline.
Exactly. Well, after the last couple of weeks, we might be. Of course, the UIL mandated wet bulb went into effect officially. Now, talking to you guys,
we've been doing
been common sense.
Yeah.
Did you do anything differently getting ready for this, or did you just kind of follow what you have been?
We're a morning team because we don't start school till 9 a.m. So it's kind of a no-brainer for us. But, going all the way back to my San Angelo Central days, we were a morning team. When I was at Millshoe, we were an after-school team, and I feel like we had more heat issues than we do now. Last year, we practiced the exact same, and we had a lot of 5:30 kickoffs last year.
That's right.
We didn't have – I don't think we had any heat issues with cramping or anything like that. So we have a tremendous strength coach in Jacob Roark that monitors all that volume load on the kids, and they'll be fresh for Friday night, and we'll just have to go out and take whatever Mother Nature gives us.
And the thing about heat and the wet bulb effect and all that is both teams are dealing with the exact
and it was hot today, but the humidity was only 15%. So
I spent 14 years in Louisiana. We would have loved that.
Yeah.
Trevor, I'm going to guess though that heat, all this practice time, all that, you guys that's not going to matter to you. How eager is this group to go out and start a full varsity football season?
Yes, sir. We're excited. Been talking to some of the guys, and they say they're really pumped up to go out there and show what we can do. And we just have to master the thing that take no talent. And I think we'll be all right.
Because you guys have sort of been preparing. This is like a 2-year process. You got to play some varsity teams, but as Coach said, there were a lot of weird kickoffs. Had to go on the road for some games. This is where 10 games in 11 weeks, right? Or 12 weeks.
11.
This is the grind. This is where coaches are used to it. This is where you kind of get used to being a high school athlete now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Which your basketball, like I said, your basketball guys got to the playoffs. Baseball guys got to the playoffs. What am I going to miss here? Soccer guys did not. Track team was incredible in the spring. So lots of success so far, but I've always thought that football is just a little bit different in a lot of ways, but especially first-time program, first official varsity game. So coming up on a break, we'll be back with one more segment of the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
This is the Panther Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Welcome back in. This is the first high school fan zone of the 2026-27 school year, first Panther Fan Zone. This will be the schedule starting tonight through the end of May. Monday nights will be Memorial, Lubbock Cooper, Friendship, and Liberty. Wednesday nights will be Lubbock High, Coronado, Monterey, and Estacado. We'll go football season. We go 30 minutes. Football and volleyball season, just to be fair, because we will have some volleyball coaches. I don't need Whitney Gibson. Man,
you better watch out.
I've watched her coach enough. I don't need her mad at me. We will have some volleyball segments from time to time, but we'll go 30 minutes in the fall. Once we get through after Thanksgiving, somewhere in there, we switch back to, I think, 20-minute segments. It's a little bit shorter. We still get plenty to talk about. We still have plenty to talk about here in these last few minutes with Jason Richards and quarterback Trevor. Tell me your last name again. That's the other thing about being an old man. You just forget names all the time. I told you we better talk about your defense, because that's obviously there's two sides. Well, there's three elements. Your special teams will be a key part, but are you going to avoid double platoon, or are you going to have guys playing both ways?
We're two platoon.
Okay.
Zach Hall, defensive end, junior, really had a great offseason. Kind of came out of nowhere. He was playing linebacker, moved down to defensive end. Our defensive line, Danny Cooks is a sophomore. Malachi Griffin's a junior. They're really good. We've held Dirk Soto out for 2 weeks. He's back. That's going to be huge. He's kind of the quarterback of our defense. He does a tremendous job. And our secondary is learning. We got Jeremiah Young, and we moved Hickson Howard to defense.
Oh, nice.
So he's going to be a good asset over there. Good frame, good body. So yeah, we're ready to go out and see where we're at. And that's why I told the kids today is, all we're trying to do, a nameless, faceless opponent, and be the best version of ourselves every week and get better.
I said to you that when Liberty got their thing going, they did some things offensively. I punched them mouth a little bit defensively. Sometimes it takes a little bit to get used to that. What do you think your guys need to get used to pretty quick starting against the Patriots?
Yeah, just playing fast and being confident in what you're doing. Trust what you see and go. We saw that. Abilene Wiley scrimmage was a great addition for us, and we tackled way better at Midland Greenwood. Like I was telling you earlier, they popped a big one that got it down to the 4, and we held them for 4 downs. I was proud of that. That's not easy to do anymore with what offenses can do, and hold up front, trust your reads, and do your job. You can do a great job on defense and not make the tackle.
Yep. And one thing I remember Joe Sexton telling me, his guys had to learn that just one step off, one missed assignment, coaches like to use that phrase, can sting you a little bit.
That's right.
And that's what video's for. It's what going back and looking. So they start with Liberty on Friday at home at People's Bank Stadium, which will be their home stadium right now. Then 3 Thursday games. I forgot we talked a little bit about that. Thursday night, September 3rd, they go to Canyon to take on West Plains State, semifinalists last year.
I don't think they made the semifinals last year. 2 years ago they did.
Come back home they go across town to Lowry Field to take on Coronado. Off on the 4th week, week 5. That's when they jump into District 2 5A Division 1 play, which better have some Wheaties, and hopefully you are shaving by then, because you'll need that, because this is a gauntlet. Amarillo High, that will be out in Wolforth. And then a Thursday night game against Monterey at Lowry Field. Abilene High at People's Bank Stadium. Here's that game. Friendship, which is, you guys will be the visitor in that first game at People's Bank Stadium. Lubbock High at People's Bank Stadium. And then they finish with a Thursday night game against Caprock at Dick Bivens Stadium. And then Tascosa comes to town on November 6th. So not a lot of weak sisters in there. You guys will know pretty quick how good you can be and what you want to do this year, and then what the future holds.
Absolutely.
A lot of things for a first-year program. I know these guys are excited. I mentioned this to you when we talked the other day. You and your coaches, how chomping at the bit are you now to get out there and start coaching on Friday nights under the lights again?
Yeah, I've got a very experienced staff, a great staff, and I think they really, fall camp's kind of become a beatdown. 2.5 weeks of fall camp. I think they're just happy to be in a routine in the school year.
Well, and I'll go back. It's been 2.5 weeks now, but really you guys have been preparing for this for quite a while. So
that's right.
Time to put on the fancy duds and go to work. That wraps us up in the Panther Fan Zone. They'll be back with us next week. We're going to come back and jump into the Pirate Fan Zone right after this on 100.7 The Score.